Hi, my name is Tammy Pierce Bell. Um, my current position is I'm the Assistant Director of Enrollment at Furman University. What led me to my current job? I started off as a guidance counselor. That was my first job out of graduate school. Loved working as a guidance counselor. I was also a college counselor, and that I knew that I liked working with students, but those were my first two jobs. After that, I stayed at home for a couple years to take care of my children and went back to work um, in the industry of higher education, which is what I intended to do from the beginning. So, what schooling or experience did you have that got me to my current job? When I graduated from graduate school, I went to undergraduate. There I studied political science and psychology. The summer of my junior year, I thought that I wanted to work with students. So it was a career path that I was fairly certain about. But the summer of my junior year, I did two different internships. One, I was selected to be on the orientation staff at my college, and another one was working in Washington, D.C. I ended up loving the orientation staff and decided then that I wanted to get my master's in higher education, and that was the career path I wanted. We ended up moving to Puerto Rico. I couldn't speak Spanish fluently, so I was a guidance counselor and a college counselor there. After several years of being at home with my kids, I decided I was ready to go back to work, and that is how I re-entered the market in higher education. After I was a guidance counselor and a college counselor, when we moved back to the States, I worked at the University of Miami. That was my first official job in higher education. There I was the director of advising for the college, for the university. So, explain my role and what my skills are required for my position. I would say if you're going to work in higher education, you need patience, flexibility, organization. One of the big differences in working with high school students and working with college students is parental involvement is far less at the college level. So there's less of that. There's less parental involvement at the college level because of HIPAA laws. You'll need to have proficiency in a multitude of programs at Furman, where I currently am. We have a multitude of programs that we work in, from Workday to accounting type programs and anything related to student business. So I would say being able to work in a variety of different programs. Probably also flexibility. I think that flexibility working with students and enjoying working with students is key to this job. What does my average day look like? I work from 8:30 to 5, almost every day. Some days two times out of the year we have registration, and everyone in our office is required to work night shifts also. So we work from about 5 to 10 p.m. for about 2 weeks straight, about 3 days a week. So there we're registering students. This only happens twice a year, but we're registering students for classes, for fall, spring, and summer classes. What my average day looks like, though, is we come in, we check our computers. We're a very student-facing office, so anyone who has to go through drop an ad in our office, change of classes, they want to check on their financial aid, if they want to check on their student account, if they have questions about anything billing related, they would come through our office, changing their major, dropping their major. So we are the office that takes care of students that are enrolled at Furman University. What's the best part of my day? I love working with students. I absolutely love the interaction I have with students. I think it's rewarding. I like helping people, and working in education is definitely a helping field. The hardest part of my job is probably having to give students bad news. So if somebody is disappointed, if somebody's on probation, if somebody has a bill that they can't pay, if their financial aid doesn't work out, if their GPA doesn't match the requirements for their scholarship and their scholarships get dropped. Those are the types of things that are most disappointing. It's the human interaction that is the most rewarding and also sometimes the most devastating. My long-term career goals would be, I would love to be dean one day, or an associate dean. And an advice to finding a career that they love, I think people are good in love. I think if you're good at something, you end up loving it. So my best advice would be to look at what your skill set are, try to find a job in something that you truly enjoy. That's not to discourage anybody from needing to make a living. However, I think it's really important. I think if you do what you love, you will make a living at it. So in my case, I love working with students. Other careers, I'm sure, are more financially rewarding, but I really do love what I do working with students. And what advice do you give to students for an interview? What advice would I give to, okay, so as far as interviewing, I think it's important to look at your composure, to smile. I think you want to make sure that you're dressed in a polished way. I wouldn't probably, if you can stay as mainstream as possible, yet true to yourself so that you can present a picture of who you are to the interviewer, but yet a somewhat mainstream dress requirement, I would say. And let's see, I don't know, I'm not sure about the outlook for my profession right now with COVID. We are all working from home, which has been a little bit unusual because we're a student-facing office. So, but I am super busy right now. As you might know, we're dealing with refunds. So we're refunding lots of students for room and board. So it's been an interesting process here in my office, but we have been very busy. So if you have any other questions, feel free to post them and I'll try to help. Thanks. Bye.